episode of the Best Book Club. I'm your host, NeufAtora, and this is the podcast where I discuss the best stories with the best minds in the community. On this episode, I'll be discussing Simulated Seductions by Arghtime. With me, I have the writer of this series. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, here I am, and here we go talking about it whenever, yeah.
Yeah, this
Finger
is
guns.
yeah, this will be wow, this is I think almost 40 episodes later. No, more. 50. This is 50 episodes later since the last time we talked. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just how it happens. All right.
Yeah, I guess so. It's very nice to have you back.
All right.
So, you posted the intro to this series on August 6, 2018, and it centers around the luckiest man in the universe being the keystone to a competition that just about all of us in the community can only dream of experiencing. I feel like that is a pretty good way to describe this whole series.
Yeah. A little bit of it's just pure fantasy, just pure nothing, just straight to the point fantasy.
Yeah, it just seems like entire wish fulfillment, and it's fantastic. I love that. I love it. It's like there's no world building or deep character arcs or anything like that need to happen. It's just wish fulfillment.
Straight to the point. It was straight to the point because world building has always been, hard, and not often. It's often people just are here for the fun stuff. And I was like, all right, I can do that. I can just focus on, the character because it's from a show, a game, the name, and you could just kind of picture them. I don't really have to describe them very much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just roll into a simple situation. Yeah.
Yeah, you seem like, honestly, like the master of that type of writing. Just all meat, I suppose. Like just getting straight to the point of these tidbits, really, of stories. So just, there could be so much more to it, but there doesn't need to be. And I think it's one of the big things that is a hallmark of your writing in general, is that you're just able to tell this is Arghtime right away.
It's time. I don't waste your time. Get right to the time. The Arghtime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the whole series has pulled in some considerable numbers. Each of the 12 you did, 13 including the intro, they all got almost 20,000 views, which is no mean feat. So how are you able to so consistently capture what this community is looking for?
Well, I'm doing a little bit of 1,000-yard stare, but it's just like there's sort of a technique to what a wedgie is.
Yeah.
There's 5 stages. You can really breaking down a wedgie. It's you see the target. You have to first have a target, and then you need to see the underpants, usually, because you don't just look at someone randomly and say, you know what, I'm going to give that person a wedgie. Usually, I would imagine just if you're thinking about a wedgie, it needs to be brought on. There needs to be a cue given of some kind. So there's usually the setup. Then you got the grip. That's when it's coming. You got the hold of it. You got the hold of the underwear. You're holding it nice and tight. Yep. Tension's building. The pull. Big exploration of the crack. The diving up the cheeks, lots of fun words you can use. The ascension of the rear, the posterior pummeling, and then you've got the release or the aftermath. Release. You could even break it into release and then aftermath into 6 parts, really. The release, snapping it back. The fabric snaps to the head, and then just the aftermath, the person recoiling with it. And I haven't looked at my stories in a while, but usually there's something chaotic happens in them, usually, or sexy. Trying to remember. I'm not bringing any of them up because I wanted you to bring them up. because that's you're going to control which ones we talk about. But in general, I think they're a mixture of like sexy or a little bit lewd. Lewd, sexy. It's always weird thinking of them as sexy because it's such a fetish thing. It's like a niche thing.
Yeah,
So it's more like a very targeted kind of kink, a targeted kind of experience, rather than like a general thing that'd be cute, I guess.
absolutely. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Something like
I
that.
absolutely agree. This is definitely not for anybody looking to get off all over the planet. It's not for everyone, but it you know your audience, you know who it is, and you're able to deliver to them extremely well. Uh,
All right.
the intro reminds me of Marvel's Secret Wars storyline, where a bunch of characters from all over the place, like the entire multiverse, how wherever they're all pulled from, if they're all just pulled from Earth or whatever, uh, and they all gather in one area and they're all fighting for a single goal. I think it's just to escape, really, or like some kind of the the collect whatever is actual whatever the main villain's name is. I don't remember what his prize is for winning this tournament, but it gives me a strong Secret Wars vibe.
I might know that, but it's not coming straight to memory. But quickly reading over my incredibly short intro, yeah, it's just a very simple premise, and it gives sort of like the girls a reason to go after you because
Yeah.
you are the main character. So I was like, I'm like, why would the girls go after you? It's like, why would Zarya, Moira, can like all these characters that just don't seem like they'd ever do it? Why would they do it? And I'm like, all right, we'll just make some shit up in the world's lightest setup. And like, all right, well, world's infinite desires could be yours. All right, well, they could probably take a few underwears going uppies to fucking their ass to get whatever they want. Theoretically, in this situation or the story, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like what's a few wedgies to your heart's content? Yeah,
Hmm.
whatever you want. Yeah,
Well, the Secret Wars storyline is. I think I'm pretty sure that is where Peter Parker first gets the Venom symbiote. That's where he first contracts it. But yeah, it's very effective in the very extremely short amount of time that it's there. It
Hmm.
like the rest of it just gets right to the point. There's no fluff whatsoever. Was there ever a specific number of stories you had in mind for this series? Like once you
I may or may
reached,
not have set myself a really dumb goal where I wanted to write them in batches of 3,
yep,
and
I
that
remember
might have
that.
hurt my ability because I technically spoilers. I have 2 written, but I never wrote a third. Yeah, no, it's over. He's no longer a writer. I haven't written. I haven't written a third one, so I never published those 2. So they're
Ah,
just sitting on my Google Doc,
well,
and I just haven't published them.
you should put them
I
out
should
there.
write a third one, and then I could hold to my really stupid rule of posting them in threes.
What is
It's
it
like,
like
why in threes, you ask?
what is it like all good things come in threes? That's why you're doing it?
I don't know. I just put them in threes, and just like if I released them one at a time, maybe people would appreciate them more. Instead, I just shotgun 3 out and just like pick your favorite. That's sort of was the theme of it, really. I mean,
Hmm.
that's kind of the story. Is like they're trying to win you over,
Yeah.
but it's almost like they have to. There was like competing with multiple people. So theoretically, if I ever like decided to put a cap on it, I could be like, all right, just vote for your favorite, and maybe I'll commission someone to draw a comic of
Oh,
it.
see, that would have been fun. That would have been real
Yeah.
nice. Um,
I mean, I guess I could still do that, and like that would catch people off guard. Is like, arghtime still around? Huh.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Uh,
I think it would be not too much of a shock because last year you posted a couple of stories and you've been randomly posting a couple pieces of art here and there.
yeah. Just when sometimes when I'm inspired, or there's just a random, I don't know, stroke, just randomly vomit something onto the page, and just
Yeah.
I say YOLO, throw down, and I don't really worry about it. I don't reply to his stuff as much as I used to.
Mm,
It's just how it goes. Just kind of
yeah.
lurk more, and well, usually try to post something on my birthday. It usually seems to be
Mhm.
like a goal of mine at least.
Yeah, you seem pretty consistent with that. The with having the competition centered around you, and as I'm reading through, I become that guy. I become the person, the stand-in, whoever it is.
Hmm.
Um, it's because of the setup of the competition. It makes me want to go through every story to judge each woman and see who truly can uh, perform the best, rather than just picking my favorites and deciding from among them. So I think your setup is fantastic because it delivers that intrigue. It makes you curious. It makes you want to see how, if there is a woman who can do it better than the one you found so far.
I mean, I pick characters I know, which I mean, let's see here. I think Rin is not a character I know. I think I did that as like a commission. Let
Mm.
me just double check this. I think I did this actually for a friend, like just a challenge, or they gave me a character because I wasn't sure who to do. I mean, I haven't done jury yet, but technically I have. But
Yeah, that's
it's
that's really
she's
surprising.
she's like been she's been in other stories where I've had you as the main character, so like I haven't touched her, but I could just kind of grab other characters and just I could even do OCs, I guess. I I do hold myself back a lot, and the you're always your greatest critic and stuff like that.
Of
That's
course.
that's the real problem.
Yeah. Yeah, which I've been curious why you never used any of your OCs or jury, really. Like your mascot characters. You ever used any of them for this series? Why is that?
I think I was mixing it up and trying to do characters I haven't done.
Okay.
Um, yeah, because it was sort of like, well, I've already sort of done something with like it felt like I'd have to come up with another situation for jury and probably could. Yeah, I mean I guess it's not necessarily like impossible for me to do. Just I mean I guess it's a matter of like because I do spam jury. I am a jury spammer, and like I am aware of people's stigma against people who spam stuff. I mean, I try to be self aware about it. So I mean, no harm really if I'm the one paying for it. Uh,
Yeah.
just I just try not to act like it's a new revolutionary thing every time. So
Hmm.
that's my logic on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if since you went that route, then it's very applaudable that very commendable that you did not go with just the cliche wedgie girls in this community. You went for different people, ones that I'm not sure have really been ever touched before or since.
See here. Moira, I think I might have been the first to pull her. I think I was definitely Zarya. Think I was just talking on my ass. I'm like, yeah, clearly I'm the one that reached into her pants first and pulled up the underwear. Yeah, I have no idea. Um, it's just a matter of like people like I guess I have a position of power in quotes. Just the fact that I'm motivated to write stuff and I'll put it out.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, anyone could do it, and I guess I just resonate with people better, and they're like, blah. So, writing and as you can see, I'm sort of just struggling to. I don't know what I kind of know what people like, but at the same time, I'm just writing what I like.
Yeah, and that seems to be
It's
what
ha-
so many people like.
I,
So that's you're doing the best thing you can is writing for yourself, and you gather the audience that feels the same way. And that's what I think
yeah,
that should be the goal for every content creator.
yeah. I think I'm pretty. I don't even know who I'm writing for sometimes because I could if I did requests. I think there was like a phase where I could do requests, so now I can't do requests anymore
Hmm.
because I feel like I'm just going to say no to some people, and I was like, I just don't want to turn people down.
Well, they are
So then I just say no.
requests.
I don't.
It's a
Yeah, I just
request.
don't.
It's not a.
Yeah, yeah,
You're not just automatically saying it's not. You're not just gonna automatically say yes.
yeah.
I think it comes with
Oh,
territory.
All right. Alrighty. All right. Did you have one you wanted to talk about first, or
Well, I mean, I guess I
are we still doing the
some,
general
but
list?
yeah, I mean, I have general stuff, but there's also
Yeah.
specific stories as well.
All right.
Uh, it never seemed like the male stand was actually aware there was some kind of competition surrounding him. So how would he have decided the winner? How would he even known that he had to do that?
Through the power of the reader finishing the story and being like, yes or no. That's I
Okay.
there. Don't think about it too hard.
Okay.
The
Oh, so
reader, it really is a case of like I'm just trying to appease you.
yeah.
Points through monitor. Yeah, I see you listening to this. I can't believe you've gotten this far. You've gotten this far.
Huh.
It's nice to see you've gotten this far in the video. How you doing? Yeah, you, Dave. All the Daves out there are now in shambles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All the none, no Dave's listening to this. um.
No Daves of this will ever be the same.
Well, I
Okay.
guess there's just a little hope. Like, I guess I'm just curious to like what each like if each woman were to win, what they would actually receive, what they'd want to win
Good
as their
question.
victory prize. That's what I'm curious about.
Good question. I would have to do some research into the character, and then I'd probably make something up. I think looking at my cast right now, I think Zarya would probably want her people to be safe. Thinking 1,000 years. I don't really care about Overwatch anymore, but I did write about 3 Overwatch characters.
Yeah, you did. And
I did.
that's not a game that I know anything about beyond watching other like video game
It's
dungeons.
kind of
Like
it's the same.
that's it.
It's how it goes in the community. You just kind of look around and you're like, huh. I guess that show's about wedgies now, or that game's about wedgies now. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the characters are recognizable enough that you can picture them pretty
Yeah,
easily.
yeah.
So then I'm wondering if the series goes through parallel universes and existences of this male stand-in, as each time, each story, he seems to have already been in whatever situation he's in for a while and never
Yeah.
recalls anything from the previous situations.
I think the best. You know what? If you really want to think about it, now you
Yeah, I'm
could
thinking about
probably picture it like a bar. Like there's just a sensor or a detection of like how close the connection was, or how turned on they were by the
it. Mm.
situation, and that would be how the system decides who wins. Because theoretically, I guess what I could do is, I mean, when I decide, I could just do like all right, from this wave, I could commission a comic of the one that people like the most,
Yeah.
and I wrote all of them. So,
Hmm.
uh, you know, just find someone that wants to do like a drawing from it or like a scene from it. They can pick the story and then their favorite mental image from it, and then I could commission it or something.
Yeah, and what's the name of let's see here. If we're going by like the winner is the one who makes the main guy. He makes him
Makes you.
whatever. It makes you theirs. Then if to win, you must seduce this being, um, and to do it, you have to use wedgies to win them over. If that's the case, then is it? Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, then Zara would is I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce it, but that's how you spelled
Zyra, I
it.
think it is.
Yeah.
Zarya.
If that's the case, then however her name is pronounced would have. It seems like she won outright because she basically confesses to him, and then you accept her. So it seems like she won.
Yes. You may have found a problem with the storyline, but you see, the thing is, I can't write the same story 12 times.
Yeah.
So we just made shit up as we go.
I mean,
Maybe you like the role play situation of hers, or maybe you like I think with Moira, it was a research study. Yeah. She did a study on you and the fabric going up. Or maybe you liked Elena, which what the hell was Elena's story?
Oh, that was her pushing you to
It's-
be a better bully.
yeah,
I really like that one.
yeah. She was like, "You call that a wedgie? Come on now, you could do better than that." Or
Like
let's say
hyping you up.
is yeah. It's like you could do that.
It was great.
Yeah,
Like a I guess a more enjoyable version of the second option in You Give a Girl a Wedgie, where she's egging you on to give you the here. It's
he's
kind of like the same thing, but
yeah.
it's more enjoyable for some reason. Like
Well,
she,
I think I lended into the kind of what I vaguely understand about Elena is she's kind of very friendly, kind, and she
mhm.
just kind of she was like trying to encourage you because there just seemed to be a mishappening or something. Yeah, let's hear. Oh yeah, are you a bully?
Yeah, yeah. Somebody just randomly steals your entire wardrobe. Like, what's the story of that? I want to like,
It's
I want
called
to hear what's
lazy
more.
setup. It's called lazy setup. I was just like, I just need to get you to looking like a bully
Yeah.
because I don't know what you wear. I literally do not know what people wear. Like I could not figure out what you
And
wear. Yes, you,
the
Dave. I could not figure out what anyone wore. So I'm like, all right, well, now they just look like a bully. Call it a day. I have solved the problem of you. I have solved you. You are now wearing bully clothes because your entire wardrobe's gone.
and the very sparse description you gave for those bully clothes gave me a picture of like a 50s greaser type of guy. Like black leather jacket, slick back hair, white undershirt.
I really did a lot of letting the I that one's a little bit leaning into let the reader envisions
Mhm.
because I everyone sort of has like a technically everyone has a different vision of just everything
Right.
because of what they've experienced in their life. So kind of just want to say with a punk bully attire. And it's just like, yep. And they're
Yeah.
like, well, what is it? It's punk bully attire. Well, what is it? It's punk bully attire. And then
What do you
I
think it
don't.
is?
What do
That's
you
the
think it is? Just looking
yeah.
at you. What do you
Yep.
think it is? There isn't. I'm not trying to revolutionize punk bully attire. I'm just trying to get the point across. That's what
Right.
you look like.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if this series isn't just a bunch of parallel universes happening at the same time with each woman going to a different parallel universe, then I'm wondering if it's just some random guy is kidnapped and he's being held against his will or
That
unknowingly
could be fun.
while being strapped into something like the Animus from Assassin's Creed, with his mind being wiped every time or something.
He's just sitting there, just like stuck in a chair, and he's like, "That's a game show, people!" And it's just like being all of these options are being streamed to an entire audience. Who do you think he is going to win? Throw your votes in.
That would be a pretty crazy game show.
I really don't know. I guess like if I was to picture like I just needed if I was to picture what the default point is, I'd just picture I guess it's like the danger room because I kind of know what the danger room looks like in X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Where just things load into it, or like it's a visual simulation room where it just appears, and the girl sets up the situation. Like they can even inject just a thing that happens. They sort of control the narrative, I guess. They're the reason the thing's happening. So whatever the I guess whatever I think would be a fun scenario for them to be in would be what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all very fun.
There's no, yeah, no. It's just like, what is the guy? You mean you? Well, I guess you're sitting at your computer desk, Dave. Uh, poor Dave. You're just sitting at you're sitting at your desk and you're reading the story. I'm trying to pull you in. It's getting pulled into a story. I don't know how people do it anymore. I lost the ability to get invested in a story sometimes, or just most of the time. I just read. I can barely force myself to read anything. Actually, it's probably why I don't write as much anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
So I just don't.
that's a sad thing though, because getting pulled into the story, becoming part of the story is so much fun. Makes it so much more enjoyable.
I I end up. I might sometimes. I think I just end up asking too many questions. Yeah, and then I ruin it for myself.
Mm.
So then, like, I just get picky. It's kind of just been what I've done. I guess I've done it for a lot of my life, which is kind of why I'm so jaded about it.
Mm-hmm.
When I had very shitty internet options, I would read stories. So I've done reading in the past, and I've kind of just not continued because just new things have opened up and I've expanded to different things.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of a problem I faced for a while as well. It's just like there's other things that take up your time, and
Yeah.
it's just annoying because I want to write, but other things take up the time.
It's just your computer is such a powerful tool. You can do so much with it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes just sitting there clacking away at the keyboard, looking at a white screen as black letters just appear as you hit the keys. Yeah, sometimes that's not what you want to do. You want to do something more engaging.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So clearly, this doesn't matter since it's never brought up again. But I am really curious about the structure of this competition. Are the competing women eliminated after their story ends?
If I can get people, if I could, that feels like a big, massive final picture of like when I finish. If theoretically I could just stop now, and I could just make a post and say, pick your favorite simulated seduction story, and I will commission a comic or something like that of the story. And like people will probably, I don't know if they'll pick their favorite story or they'll just pick their favorite character, but it's, I mean, I just kind of did characters I liked and had an idea for, so you could just pick whoever they want. Nisox is cute. Symmetra
Yeah.
was like, I was like, sure, why not? Nerdy Indian. Wait, was it? Yeah, nerdy Indian. I think she's even autistic, and that one comic they made about her, and then they never dealt with her since. Blizzard, really good out there.
Yeah. I mean, is everyone judged at the same time?
That'll be a good question. I think it's technically just it'd be a case of like a bar filling up, or like a number metric going up. It's like you were 69.420% effective in your story, and then just like yeah, they would just get those numbers, and like it's just going for the high score of who has the highest number. I guess you could think of it like winner stays on. So like if the new story didn't win people over, then the old person stands on. So
Okay.
who knows who's standing on right now? I don't know. Who's your favorite? Leave in the comments below.
Yeah, do that. And I mean, we can look at. I'm pretty sure it is Velma who is the favorite of the people.
People do like Velma. I think most of the people I picked are not like really big in the wedgie community. So like Velma is though. Velma's
kind of
a little bit bigger in the community.
right. Not
I have
as
opened,
big as some of the other ones, but yeah.
Yeah. I have opened all of my characters and going purely off of favorites. Actually, Rin wins by 1. Win wins by 1 favorite.
Okay.
And the most commented story is, I think, one of the older ones. The ones where I actually replied to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I think it is. It's actually CC 20 comments.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that is.
But I think I even got fan art of this one.
Yeah.
Imagine getting fan art of a story you wrote. It's just like a big accomplishment. I got exactly 1 fan art. It was great. I did it. I won. I can retire. I have retired apparently.
What happens to the losers?
I don't know. Maybe they just hang in eternal sadness by their underpants. Maybe they're permanently bonded to their underwear over their head and they can't see.
Oh wow!
Maybe they just be sad.
That would seriously impact the rest of their lives.
Yeah, it's really hard to see through like your waistband. You can probably see through the fabric of your underpants, but like not everyone's underpants is really that stretchy. So maybe they just maybe they just got to go home. Maybe there's no wedgies involved at all. Maybe they're just like, hey, you lost, get out of here. And they're like, oh, and they go home and they just leave. Or we could do the fun one where they're just all hoisted away by their underpants and left suspending in an eternal void forever and always. And
That's
they're
just
like
sad.
and they're just playing cards on like a floating table nearby.
That's sad. That's imprisonment forever for not doing
Yeah,
anything wrong.
Well, clearly they did. They lost.
In a competition that they didn't sign
Couldn't
up
they
for.
make you horny? Why didn't
It's
they make you horny enough?
just it seems like they were pulled in without their consent. They're coerced into this competition, and then they're forced to suffer repercussions they had no choice in.
Don't think about it. Think about fetish.
I gotta think
heavy,
about
horny
the ethics.
thoughts.
I have to think about
horny
the
thoughts. We don't have ethics. We go into people's pants and pull.
So this really feels like a much more blown out and grander version of You Give a Girl a Wedgie. It's like that story 4.0, like times 4. You have one choice and 3 options there, and here it's one choice and 12 options.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess it's sort of the straight to the meat and potatoes of the stories, just straight to the fun stuff, so I can focus on the fun stuff, so I don't have to ask myself a billion questions of why this story exists.
Yeah.
I just right to the point, because that oftentimes is what stops me the most. Is I just ask, why am I writing this?
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts me. I hurt myself so much trying to write stories. These stories were literally just, I jump right into the key moment of the pull. I've just right into the setup, the beginning, just focus right on it. Yeah. I don't need to introduce the character. I don't need to introduce your relationship to them. I just underwear uppies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's if this was just a regular story, that would be like the climax. But yes, here the entire story is just the climax.
Right to the climax, right to the big bonding moment, right to the fusion of underpants and crack.
Yeah. So where did all these characters materialize at in the intro? Is it just some kind of artificial dimension?
I'm just gonna picture a giant. I think there's a stage in there. Let me see. Reads the story. Poorly lit room. All right. It's a projection, so I think just picture them like just suddenly a projection appears on a wall as these people are just an undisclosed amount of people. By the way. How many are there? Yeah. Who knows? I know. And by that I mean is I don't know. It could be infinite. There are theoretically infinite girls in this room. Schrodinger's underpants. Are they wearing them? You have to look. How many girls are in the room? Who knows? And it's up for you to decide.
Well, it seems like there's only 12 so far.
Yeah.
Well, you only get 12 options.
It's true. There's currently only 12. But what about if there's more? I don't know. They're just question marks floating around in the room until they get the rendered in.
Supposedly there's 2 more, but we don't know who they are. We don't know what happens with them because you've kept them hidden.
I don't know. Maybe if you made this far like just leave a recommendation in the comments. I don't know. I'll read the comments because I like to boost my ego in that way. It's like, people liking what I'm doing or being involved in. Sorry, it's what you're doing. It's always fun. You have a lot of fun with these.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have fun with this too.
Yeah, it's fun. That's why I keep doing it. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Please interactive.
Was there ever a plan to get the mysterious speaker from the intro involved more in some way? For the almost non-existent detail that's given for her, she seems like she'd add a lot of spice and intrigue. Like, she just gives herself a huge wedgie with no provocation. It's like she would have been like so great to like have her in the competition somehow.
You can kind of picture you can kind of visualize a Cortana-like character for this. It's sort of what I was going for. A light purple female silhouette with clear white bra and panties stands to adjust the crowd. You could kind of picture Cortana-ish, a character like Cortana.
Right.
Yeah. It's sort of like a simulated person, woman, literal wedgie robot, and to pick one. You have so many options.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun looks for that. starting right now.
Maybe
There's a contest to draw the character.
maybe that can be your third character to round out those other two stories. Is
She's just like,
the mysterious speaker?
like you all suck. You all suck. Let me do it.
Yeah, to show you how it's done. And,
Yeah.
just as an example, as opposed to a legitimate entry in the contest.
Hmm?
Well,
Oh yeah.
what what job does the lead have in this Arya timeline? I keep thinking of it as like parallel universes, so I'm calling it like timelines and whatnot. Like each story. So, what job does do you have in that timeline?
Good question. You have a job that keeps you out of the house. Hold on.
It's a job you have a day
It's your
off
day.
from. That's all
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah. Just there's a little bit of world building. Like you have a job, but you have an apartment with a roommate. There, boom. Zarya's in the story now.
Yep.
Yeah. There's your setup right there. You've been because people. I don't know your living expenses. I don't know where you live. So now you have a job. Congratulations.
And those living expenses have been rough as of late.
Yeah. So now you're split. You have a roommate now, and it turns out to be a strong washerwoman. Yeah.
Who is apparently well known as a heroic figure. It
Yeah.
seems to be the case. She's actually known for her deeds, and yet she has to share an apartment with a random guy.
Yeah. Super weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes me
And she
wonder
wants
if
a wedgie from him.
yeah,
She wants.
it makes me wonder if like she already had eyes on him before, and she saw the opportunity. Maybe you
I see.
posted
Playing
a
with the
listing.
story, having fun with it. Yeah, we're getting deeper.
I'm creating details for this story of my own volition.
What is the lore of Zarya's
Yeah.
butt flossing?
Yeah,
What is the
I'm
lore of this?
fleshing out the story of my own head. I'm
Yeah,
creating my headcanon for it.
yeah. I went right into the meat and potatoes, so you can have as much fun as you want with the setting.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the what happened before.
of skimming over it. Yeah, it's just like, what? How did this happen? Did you decide on arghtime story Z?
Yeah. One of my favorite pieces of all 12 is the final two lines from Zarya. So no more wedgies, she inquires. Now you never said that. That's got to be the perfect way to end it, where you're just then actually revealing he's into wedgies rather than just stunned by her show of force. Like it's a good deception the whole time of is he like am I actually into them here, or is it just like this is taking me by surprise so much that I don't know how to react, that this woman is doing something wild that I would never expect to happen.
Is the girl or the star of the opposite character has to sort of initiate the wedgies most of the time, because I can't really make you do much of anything, but I can make the character do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to kind of. I'm looking at the stories as you're talking about them. So
Mm-hmm.
I have 12 of them, and I kind of remember what I did for all of them, sort of, maybe.
Yeah, I mean none of them are very long, so it's there's not much
I
to
always
remember
wonder,
for
like,
each.
what is like. Leave in the comments how long do you like your stories. I didn't really want them to be long because I would imagine that, well, I mean, people are probably like, if you have a long story, people would get like a deeper connection to it, but they're also going to find things they don't like into it, or in it, because it's so much longer.
Yeah.
So it has to hold their attention for longer. The world building's got to be tighter, cleaner. It's got to keep characters interested. There's got to be multiple scenes. I just focus on one scene and just how that scene plays out. I don't have to translate between scenes. I don't have to do jump cuts, road travel, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, a shorter story will be more accessible in general, just because
Yeah,
more people will be willing to commit a minute to reading a short story as opposed to multiple hours reading a long story or a novel.
Yeah, you got to get them
I
with the intro
Yeah,
or the
I mean,
first line. I forget the
the
rules
hook.
on that. I think
You gotta hook them.
yeah, your hook's got to be good.
Yeah,
Watch out for the hooks. They're
that's
gonna
why it's called
yeah
a hook.
yeah
You gotta grab
because
you.
it's gonna give you a wedgie.
Yeah. Uh,
Yep.
eh, that's something like slightly off topic. Like hooks, I feel like this is sort of a misconception that's taught. Is like a hook has to just completely rip your attention away from everything else. Like it has to like consume your entire focus as soon as you see it. Like it's got to be this earth-shattering, crazy, unique attention grabber, and it doesn't. Like a hook can just be something simple that intrigues you and makes you curious to go further. Like it can be really. It doesn't have to be a strong hook. It can just be a hook. It can just sort of
It
tap you on the
should set up
shoulder.
the entire. It should set up what's going to happen for the most part, or give you a introduction to the world. The
Yeah,
core
absolutely.
of the hook is just. I'm actually reading over my first sentence. Yeah, it's just kind of. The intro is literally just what the hell is going on? What the hell situation is this? And that's basically like the
Yeah.
first paragraph. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should just give. I think it should just be a taste of the world to come. That's all it needs to be. Uh, so
I am skimming over my
there
stories right now.
there are a few characters that are usually underage, though have been depicted older, like Velma and Missouri, however you say your name from Rosaria and Vampire. Brick
The
Crust, I think, is only ever 16. I don't think there is ever a time in My Life as a Teenage Robot where she goes over. Uh, Cece is biologically 16, but uh, mentally or whatever it is, she's like thousands of years, something, whatever it is. I
have
never
you ever?
fully
I'm
looked
gonna
into
hit you
this.
with the thing where it's just like you look at the character and you're just like, what age is that? Because they some of the anime's characters are drawn certainly
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's.
very
I think some of that is intentional.
yeah. They know what they're doing. They know what they're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. Yeah, it's for whatever reason it happens. Um, so just as a repeat call out to the community, if you underage content is no good, don't ever go into it. That's all. Um, the knee socks
I
timeline was awesome. Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt is a great show. It's funny and it's there's a lot of interesting world building in it. It's nice to see some people actually using characters from that show. I think they fit extremely well into situations like this.
I am skimming over the knee stock story. I sometimes I get worried about what these massive paragraphs are, right? Where like just the action just keeps flowing. I need
It's
to break them up a little bit more.
I mean, yeah, that's always a good thing to look at, but those paragraphs are not nearly as bad as some I've seen.
Hmm. Skimming.
Those characters are super enjoyable. I don't know why people don't want to go towards them more. And they know
It's
what they're
I
doing. Like they know what they want. They like this
well,
is what they
I
do
mean,
is like sex and kink and fetish shit. Like you think people would jump on these characters left, right, and center, but no, for whatever reason.
I I think it was a lot of these characters were like picking the reason why characters get picked are just because someone wants to write about them or have them drawn. So
Hmm.
you've got Jury for Me, there's Hinata. I think actually if I double check,
Sakura,
there's Sakura. I think there's like one guy likes this
Shioka,
India, Julia Chang.
Julia Chang. Really?
Likes
That's her
Julia
name?
Chang from Tekken. He commissions them around, yeah, this guy. Or this one guy likes Julia Chang, and I was like, yeah, he wants to see her, so yeah, he'll pay for her. So you just have
Oh.
you'll have repeats.
I haven't really seen her around, so I don't know if she's really a community.
No, it's this one guy. It's kind of
Yeah.
like me with Jury. There's a couple of
Right.
people that like Jury.
Yeah. A couple
Uh,
stalwart people behind them, but I mean, you get characters like Hinata, She Hulk, like those
mhm.
characters are like the
Well, She-Hulk is definitely, I think, a byproduct of the Killer WC
yeah, but
liking her.
she's that's a character that like yeah started with Killer WC, but that has expanded way beyond. Like I see her plenty of places besides just the Killer WC now.
Yeah, it's sort of the rich get richer kind of situation where like the more art that gets made of them, the more people are willing to try it themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It's just
so it just sort of
more people
it
see it,
keeps
and
expanding. Yeah,
people are inspired by it. There's so many different takes. I think it's great, but I wish there was more. There were more characters that people went to uh, overall, as opposed to just sticking
there
with
is
the
so
show.
much on the internet. People do probably keep it simple.
Yeah.
Um, I could, I there's a lot of characters. I probably could write it. I probably,
Although
I could try.
I think it is I think it does show like some strength of the characters in this community that have been created by people in this community, like some of your characters, like Ciara, uh, Sandra, like these characters that were created for this community. Like they just people want to keep writing about them as well, as opposed to any other characters. So I think that shows a lot of strength in the characters created by this community, as opposed to
Care. Yeah.
yeah.
I is there it's the world works because the world works. People just do what they want. They
Hmm.
just have fun. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's underwear goes up, people are happy,
Yeah.
and they just decide to pick who they want.
Do you have a favorite between these 12 or 13 if you count the intro?
Um
If you consider the 13th as the intro as part of as one of the story.
uh 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 I plead the fifth.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's fair if you say all of them because you wrote them all, you created them all.
It's sort of like I have soft spots. I mean, you've seen the characters. I think I've done a decent. I've had commissioned a couple of Brit pictures, so it's kind of I think there's just a matter of experimentation. Actually, you know what? It really is like the idea, and if I rolled with it, because there's just here. Symmetra was chaos at the shop. Yeah, chaos at the shop. I think. Uh, yeah, that was slapstick with her arm being the offender. Cammy,
Hmm.
what did I want Cammy? Why does she want a
Right
wedgie?
before a mission.
Yeah,
I don't think
to
she
get
really
her
states
outfit ready.
why. Like she has to test the
Trying to
outfit or
see.
something. I don't think it really ever gives a specific reason why. I think it's just she's doing it for the competition. She's just kind of getting it out of the way.
I'm quickly skimming the ground.
Well, was there one that you kind of had more fun writing than the others?
Oh, that's what it is. She needs a wedgie to get into her outfit. That was the joke.
Oh, okay.
It's just a stupid gag on like she's basically wearing a wedgie.
Mm-hmm.
So then just like, can you help me into my outfit? Is basically.
Mm.
Um, I think really, if I was to go off it, is the ones that people responded to the best. So I got a picture from the CC one, so I think that one holds a soft spot because somebody liked it and they made a picture of it. What happened to? Sorry, I think she's faking being bullied. Yeah, I think she's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, can we ever look forward to seeing more from this series?
But
At least
this
those two.
chat, this conversation might make me write a third one. You know what? Let's try this. Let's be a little bit of fun here. I think you could give me a character actually, and I could try writing about it and see if I can do it.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Got to make
Or
sure it's a
yeah,
good character. Uh,
you've got there's the issue is like there's characters you like, but then there's characters I like and know how to write about.
right. Well,
I guess write about is subjective. It's more like I kind of have an idea of what the fuck I would put on the paper for the character.
mhm.
Um,
Hmm.
but
Well, let's see. We don't like money. We don't really play any of the same video games, so those are off. Because I wanna give you a character that you also enjoy. Um,
it
are
could
the,
also be just like let the comments decide. Could get comments. You never know.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Leave comments to
I
say
mean,
like who you'd want as a
interact
character
with the
written.
video.
Yeah, and then you can decide between, and you arghtime can decide between my pick and if anybody
Yeah,
comments. But if nobody comments, then you can just go with my character.
yeah.
Let's see here. Do
You have so
you?
much power right now. The fate of the
Yeah.
world is in your hands. The
Are
next
let's
arc-time
see.
simulated seduction.
Are you? Do you like? Are there any novel series that you like?
You may or may not have heard that I struggle to read.
Yes, but back when you did read, I mean.
I have read Ender's Game, and I remember liking that a lot.
Oh, see,
And to be honest, I try to repress the other ones.
okay.
Maybe I liked Aragon, but I read
Yeah,
two
okay.
of the books,
Okay.
and
Arya,
then
do Arya.
good thing I don't remember that character.
Oh, it's the elf woman.
All right,
That's one of my favorites too. That was actually I'm looking at it on my shelf right now. Like that was actually like I was gonna suggest that
I
one.
never finished it. I only got to the second
Oh,
one. I
it's
think there's
so
four
good. It's
books.
so yes, it's so good. Everybody hates on the ending of the last book. I love it. It is kind of drawn out, but it is the way the climax finishes is so good. It's like perfect. I love it. So
It's true. I have no idea because they ruined the movie series.
oh, I
The movie
never
was a disaster.
I'm going to watch that movie, but I
Never
know
do.
yeah, I'm going to just so I can
Never
see
do.
how bad I'm going to. I have to. I
Don't do it.
already. It's too. I'm going to. I
You're gonna
know.
lose.
I know that in the movie they kill Gabatorix at the end of it, even though it's supposed to just depict the events of the first book, which is fucking stupid. Uh
Well, it's even worse than that. They kill the two assassins.
oh, the
There's two
Razak.
assassins that the Razak or whatever they are,
Yeah,
the
the
two
Razak.
weird
Well,
assassin characters.
they do
Yeah,
eventually
they kill those.
die.
Yeah, but in the first book, no,
No, it takes them like to the
no,
I think like the
they
third book. I
they
think.
fuck everything up. They
Yeah.
fuck it up.
Hmm. Well,
Also, I think this was written by a kid.
he started when he was 15. He published when he was 19. Like the youngest published
Yeah,
author ever, or something like that. Like it was,
yeah,
if I
good for
remember.
him. You know, there's his tagline.
Yeah, and funnily enough, it I think Aragon is the tightest story of all of them. When he written when he was youngest, I think it just is the tightest of them all.
You know, probably. Don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I remember
maybe
that's the book that got
read
it going.
maybe read some a
Well,
wiki page for Aria.
here's a better question to the community. Do they know who Arya is? Because I'm going to write Arya, and people are going to be so fucking confused when it's a elf from Aragon.
Hey, I
I'll be
think
like,
you might be surprised. You might be surprised. Who knows? And it's a character that you had some familiarity with before because she showed up pretty prominently in the first two books and the whole series. But maybe just read her wiki page to brush up on her character, and then
that's usually what I do.
yeah, uh, and then you'd probably have your memory refreshed. That would be awesome. Like go with her. Go do Arya is my pick for character.
I'll have to think of I'll have to really feel something here because this is going to be me reading the bio and then having a stroke of either genius or stupid. And something comes out.
If it pushes out these three, then and the other two especially that have already been written, then I don't care if it's a stroke of stupid. I mean, she really is just like a stoic, badass Sundir, very reserved, very closed off, very professional.
I think
So
I'm
that's
having a
basically all
dumb
you need.
idea. I'm having a dumb idea right now.
And and dumb ideas can be the fun ones. So go
You
with
want
it.
you want to know the dumb idea? Maybe a little bit of
Well, if you're gonna
this is like
capitalize on it, then no.
wedgies to hunt, wedgie to hatch a dragon egg. How about that?
Well, yeah, that could be part of
Yeah, I don't
the
know.
ritual
Some
to show to bond a
because I was
dragon
like
with a
trying to.
writer, with a potential
I was like,
writer.
what? How did the writers get chosen? I had to fucking figure that out again.
Well, yeah, I mean, the writers just get chosen by being presented before the egg, and the
Yeah,
dragon chooses whether that person's worthy. So you could have part of that
yeah,
ritual be
yep,
how good of a wedgie they can give. That's perfect. Oh, especially
yep.
with what happens later that you don't know about. That I won't. I'm not gonna say, but it's perfect. Oh, that would be perfect.
Oh, it's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be stupid. There's no way.
I'd say specify in the description of it that you've only read the first two books, not the other two.
Yeah, and people are gonna be like, I'm pretty sure most people in the wedgie community are actually like anime people. They're gonna be.
Yeah, that's why
When is the last?
I was gonna suggest like
When
a manga character, but I wasn't sure if you'd know any of them. So I was like, yeah.
I know, I mean, like I technically people like Full Metal Alchemist, but I've only seen the first one
Oh,
and not Brotherhood.
well, I haven't seen either of them anime more than
The
the
anime.
first couple of episodes. The manga is where it's at.
Hmm, he's just
Oh, Riza Hawkeye. That's a character who's been done a good bit, but I like back in the day, but I would love to see one of her too. Oh, that'd be great. Or Lust. Oh. So many good characters from FMA to do this for. But
so many good characters.
Arya from the Inheritance Cycle is my choice for a character for a simulated
All right,
seduction.
and maybe someone in the comments will win me over. What is her name?
Arya, Arya.
No, what did you say for her last name?
Oh, from she's a character who doesn't actually have a last name. She's given
I'm
titles.
looking at the name of the last name. Area
Trotningu.
Drotting.
That's just a title.
Drotting.
It's a title. That's the thing. It's a title. It's an elven title.
Sit.
A princess.
There's Sit Kona. There's Sit Kona.
I can't remember
And then
which one
Shade
that is.
Slayer.
I can't remember what Sikona means. But Drotningu
Neither
is
do
just
I.
Drotningu is elven princess. Shade Slayer means she slayed a shade. They're just titles that are given to her. That's all. They're not actual last names.
Hmm.
Like they're basically like accomplishments, achievements.
All right.
All.
All right. All right.
There's so many. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember. I don't fucking remember.
It'd be great. I mean, she spends much of the first book trapped in a prison, and Aragon keeps having dreams about her trapped in prison. So she doesn't do too much in the first book, but the second book she plays a pretty prominent role. And I guess technically she does play a prominent role in the first book, but not as a present figure in the novel for a good portion of it.
All
Well,
right.
there we
All
go.
right. All right.
What is there? Is there anything else that you'd like to discuss?
No, I think I've gotten all the stupid juice out of me.
Okay, hopefully we can look forward to seeing that those other two along with this potential Arya story, if not another character.
I'll wait a little bit to see. I'll probably wait to see if anyone comments. I don't know. Maybe a week. I wait. I don't know.
This episode is going to come out multiple weeks after when we recorded.
All right. Well, then I'm just gonna. They'll be completely caught off guard if I just write an Arya story. People are like, why the fuck did he write this?
Well, hey, maybe by that time
That's
there'll actually be some comments. Like multiple, like 3 more people have given you different characters to write about, and there's 3 more stories to write. You can meet your roll of 3.
You never know. I'll just what I'll do. I'll just wait till I'll just write the story and then I'll post it on the I'll post it on the day it's released and just be like, boom, bam, promotion right there, boom.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, is there anything that you'd like to promote from yourself or others?
Draw pictures of Jury.
You're promoting Jury, okay?
Just draw pictures of Jury with her underwear over her head.
More
She has like
Jury.
those horns things, so you kind of have to. I mean, like most people kind of like the big, thick underwear, but like with Jury, you kind of have to do like a thong kind of look because of the horns to poking out. But that's kind of fine. You can kind of just do that silly look where the fabric's like over the waistband, just over her eyes, and the horns are picking out. And she's like, and you're just like, Jury, do you want to talk about it? And she just kind of like turns, looks at you, goes, no. And then just her underwear's just over her head during that. So, Jury, do you want to? No, do not ask, or I will kill you. And you're like, all right.
Yeah.
This,
Nice.
that's what I'm promoting.
Promoting Jury Han. I like it.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming on, Arghtime.
Oh, I certainly came.
Well, hopefully it was enjoyable. If there's anything,
it was pleasurable.
if there's anything that you'd like to hear me discuss, or if you'd like to come on for an episode, leave a comment or send me a message on DeviantArt, Lucky Fetish, or Discord as NeufAtora. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of Best Book Club.